More music.
Oh my God.
Here it goes. Blazing across the airway right now. Get ready.
Now this is Freddie McGregor, and you're tuned in to the baddest rhythm of all time.
Grant's Rock Warehouse is trying to change the world, one track at a time.
Are we on the air?
Yes, you are.
More music, more of the time.
Grant's Rock Warehouse.
Don't understand what's going on here.
Welcome to Grant's Rock Warehouse, and tonight I want to welcome back BM Boldt to the channel. Tonight we are looking at Joe's Garage, Acts 1, 2, and 3. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Frank Zappa series.
Grant's Rock Warehouse. Now with the look and feel of hand-tooled leather.
Hey, welcome everybody. We are live, and BM Boldt is turning around, ladies and gentlemen. Got him right at that moment. So anyway, BM Boldt, how are you? How's everything? Ready to talk some Zappa tonight?
Yeah, I've been looking forward to this one since we started 3 years ago.
Okay. Well,
Almost.
it's not been 3 years, has it?
Almost 3 years in December.
Holy Jesus. Man. All right. My wife, we were talking about it today, and she was going, "You're still doing that?"
We got a long way to, well, you know, we don't have, I can see daylight at the end of the tunnel.
I thought we'd be dead by now, but no, we're still doing it. Anyway, welcome to the show. Nice to see you. It's been quite a... Let me tell you, if you didn't watch the live Contrarian show, in my book, I had scheduled... I thought I was supposed to have a show at 6 p.m. on the Contrarians. I wrote it incorrectly in my book. And I missed the 6 o'clock show, and I thought it was the 7 o'clock show.
This was at 7.
I mean, huh?
But this was 7. Well, 7.
This is 8.
It's
Okay.
7 to 8.
But I'm an idiot. Just an idiot. Anyway, I want to welcome... I know. Well, everybody was cool with it. It was supposed to be Alice Cooper. Everybody's cool with it. No one set my house on fire or anything. No one got hurt. It's all good. Who said I was professional? I didn't. Ken White says, Byron, you'll be 100 years old by the time we get to the end of the Zappa catalog.
Yeah, I'm not going that long.
Yeah.
Are
you going to play it? Am I going to play what?
I think you want to yourself. You're going to play anything.
We could play any. We haven't talked about it. Well, we'll wait till we talk about it, and then we'll play something. Right? No, or do you want to play something right now?
No, let's talk about it, and then we'll play the first track first. Once we get to it.
So anyway, where's my notes? All right. So tonight, Joe's Garage. So this came out in 1979. This is one of those albums that I think is pretty ambitious. And the critics back in the day, well, All Music, let's look at that. They said it was one of his most important works of the 70s. Classic Rock Review said this is a good entry point. If you're getting into Frank Zappa, they recommend this as an entry point. I can't argue with that. Prog Archives said that this is one of Zappa's tightest and best constructed releases with a diverse range of genres and exceptional production. I will mention that. I know we'd probably get to it, but this record, Mr. BM Boldt, sounds really good. Amazon customer called it a masterpiece and an epic musical experience. So all over the board, this is thought of pretty well. Now, we always like to make fun of Rolling Stone, but Rolling Stone gave it a mixed review, calling it ambitious and mad and brilliant, but not particularly coherent. It's Rolling Stone. Anyway, Byron, I'm going to turn it over to you. Do you want to start us out on this? start
Yeah,
out.
we'll
You
talk
know how
about
we do this, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. B.M. Boldt.
So yeah, this is 3 albums. Came out. Act 1 was a single album, and Acts 2 and 3 was a double. Act 1 came out September 17th of 1979. I just showed that. There's a huge libretto in there because this is a play, people, if you don't know that. So it's got all the lyrics and all the dialogue going on. And then the Acts 2 and 3 came out 2 months later, November 19th, 1979. I don't have that on vinyl, though, but I do have the CD. It's the Acts 2-disc set of Acts 1, 2, and 3. Grant's got a copy.
Except I was going for it, and I damn near knocked over a stack. I feel like Pete Pardo.
So
there it is right there, ladies and gentlemen. The
that's
Ryko.
the original Japanese.
B.M. Boldt sent me this CD. This is the original Ryko Japanese CD. And this sounds really good. It sounds really good. So anyway, go ahead.
Yeah.
Tangent.
So this came out on Zappa Records. Now, the first thing that came out on Zappa Records was Chic Your Booty. This was the second Zappa album on Zappa Records, and they both sound wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
The only other things that came out on Zappa Records before he switched to Barking Pumpkin was his "I Don't Want to Get Drafted" single. I don't know if anybody has that. And then this El Shankar album. And he's the violinist. God, who else did he play with? I'm drawing a blank here. He was with John McLaughlin for a while, and I can't remember. He was in another band, I think. There he is right here. He's an Indian guy. That's a pretty good album. Frank's on that. He wrote a couple songs, did some playing on it. But anyway, this was recorded March through June of 79. The Village Recorders got up to Billboard 27. I don't know if that was the first one or the second one. Whatever.
Oh, that's pretty good, though.
Yeah, and we always discuss the CDs and the vinyl in this case are all very similar. And sometimes the vinyl and the CDs are way different, but in this case, they're all about the same.
So the 2012 version of this,
No different.
Right? Doesn't much matter.
Maybe the artwork is a little different. Well, that one's different. This one is more of the complete artwork. That one's a little more consolidated, the one you got. But yeah.
Yeah, what's that? It's in a Fat Boy. Is that a Ryko one?
Yeah, this is the mid 90s.
Oh, okay.
Green spines on them. So yeah.
Yeah, that's the second press.
So the artwork's a little different on this one than what you've got.
But those are just digital. It's a clone. It's the same master. They didn't do anything different. They just kind of redid the packaging a bit.
So we got Frank on here, of course. Warren Cucurullo from Duran Duran. And
he was in Duran Duran.
Denny Wally on slide guitars. Some vocals. Ike Willis. I think this is Ike's debut with Zappa. Ike plays Joe in this. Peter Wolf, not the Peter Wolf of Jay Giles fame. No. Yeah, one of We Built the City fame. Tommy Mars on keyboards as well. Arthur Barrow, Patrick O'Hearn. So we got a couple bass players on here. Ed Mann on percussion. Vinny Colaiuta on drums. Vinny's really good on here. And then there's a bunch of other people, random people. So we have a cast as well, since this is a play. We've got Frank as the central scrutinizer, who is the narrator. And he also plays Father Riley. And he plays the MC at the wet t-shirt contest. And he plays L. Ron Hoover. Ike, like I said, Willis is Joe. Dale Bozio makes an appearance as Mary.
That's right. And this was like the first record she was on.
Yeah. Terry Bozio as Bald-Headed John, and then some random other people.
Did you happen to watch the Billy Corrigan interview with her? Go check that out. She is, huh?
Is that a new interview or old?
Yeah, it's like a couple weeks old probably on YouTube on his podcast. She's a riot, and she talks about Frank on that show. She just absolutely love Frank because Frank would give her advice. And he thought a lot of her, you know. He wanted her to sing, and she said, "Frank, I don't sing." Anyway, I'm not going to talk about it. Do yourself a favor and go watch that podcast, that Billy Corgan podcast, because she is really a hoot. And the stories that she's had, man, she's something. But yeah, you know, anyway, whatever. What's Kiefer talking about? Howdy. Try to combine the names Grant and Byron.
How about
Grant?
Byron?
Yeah, let's just not even do that because that's stupid. Anyway,
okay, let's get back to
Dan's here. He's one of the guys earlier that I screwed out of a show, but Dan will be back. Dan, it's all good. You know that. All right, keep going.
They come back for more.
They come back for more.
So basically, Frank pretty much had written all these songs ahead of time, just randomly, and there was no story. But then he had this idea, well, I can maybe write a story to tie all these songs together. It's like I said, it's narrated by this character called the Central Scrutinizer. That's played by Frank, and he's basically a government employee. And he's telling the story, and he's speaking kind of in a hushed voice through a megaphone. Like, this is the Central Scrutinizer, you know. So you hear a lot of that throughout the whole album. So the story of the play basically is about the government trying to control us and make us all similar in some way. And they figure out, well, the easiest way to make everyone similar is to make everyone basically criminals in the eyes of the law by making things that everybody likes to do illegal. So music eventually becomes illegal because it can lead to drug use, disease, weird sex, prison, and eventual mental insanity maybe. And then Frank even had talked about this back at the time because this was the kind of thing that was going on in Iran with the Shah getting kicked out and the country being taken over by the fundamental Islamists and making music illegal and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So that kind of gets us ready for the album. So let me talk about the first track here.
Yeah.
First couple things actually, and then Grant's going to play a track. So it starts out.
We're going to play a track tonight, like we did last time. So anyway, go ahead.
We're going to start with Act 1, of course. The first track, it's called The Central Scrutinizer, and it's 3.5 minutes. And it's just narration with the Central Scrutinizer kind of getting us up to speed as to what's going on here, how the government is watching you and they want to control you. And the music is kind of this marimba-based vamp with sirens and duck calls going on. So it's just telling us the story to get us ready for this first song, which is well, why don't we just go ahead and play it?
Let's just play it, damn it.
And I'll talk about it after.
Yeah, I'm probably going to screw up the graphic when I do it, but
okay, that should be the end of that.
That should be. I hope.
I got a lot of notes about that song.
Yeah, well, go ahead, talk about it.
I don't really need to talk about it because if you've heard it, you got to know.
Okay.
You know, but yeah, it's really just the band starts up, you know, and they start to get popular, and then they get a contract, and then they end up breaking up, and then, you know, they're too loud at that point, and they're, you know, and the cops show up, and yeah, Joe gets arrested. And he starts to get involved in the church. So that really just sums up all my notes, and you heard that in the song. So,
well, if you listen, you know, it's an interesting point about that, though. If you listen to this is not much different than Cruising with Ruben and the Jets.
Yeah, just more modern sound in it than this.
That's all.
Yeah.
Could have fit on that record easily.
Yeah.
And the doo-wop, you listen to those background vocals, it sounds exactly like that era. It's funny with Zappa, with all that doo-wop stuff, it always sounds the same. A certain style that or tonal quality, it's always the same.
The vocals on here were a little more, they sound more well rehearsed. The Ruben and the Jets album is pretty raw.
Yeah, well,
this was a little tighter vocally, but then they even broke into like that little surf guitar riff, you know, like.
Look at this. John just ordered Zappa in New York. We're changing people's lives here, Byron.
So, but no, so that leads us to the next song, Catholic Girls, which I think you were going to play that one.
I think we're going to play it.
So,
Should we? Well, we can talk
let's
about
go ahead and play it because he everything I would say he's going to describe in the song. I'll wrap it up though afterwards, and then we'll continue on. But this is a great song.
But one night at the social club meeting, Mary did.
Oh, well, that's where it ends. But anyway,
fine.
you know what I love about this whole record, though? I know we're jumping around. It's very similar to like We're Only in It for the Money. It's very similar to Absolutely Free, that whole era of the Mothers, which I love. I love this kind of stuff where he has the spoken word and, you know, we have the doo-wop and it just has all these different styles. It's very similar to that stuff. That's how I find it.
Yeah. But like Absolutely Free and We're Only in It for the Money, you know, there's just a whole lot of just everything just segues and each song that segues from is different than the one next before it. And, so yeah, but it's different as well. So
well, it's different as well, but you know,
yeah. So on that Catholic Girl song, so yeah, so Joe goes to the CYO meetings and he meets Mary and Father Riley, who is a fairy, by the way, they said. And I'm going to just personalize the story a little bit. Mary sounds like she's from New Jersey or that area. I had a girlfriend. She was a good Catholic girl named Mary, and she was from New Jersey. So when I hear that song, I think of her. That's all I'm going to say about it.
Okay.
But
I don't know. But, you know, we've already started out Central Scrutinizer, Joe's Garage, Catholic Girls. It's starting out so strong.
Yeah.
Byron, I love it. All right, go ahead. Keep going.
So as we were hearing the Central Scrutinizer talking there, Joe met Mary, and then I think it cuts off that one night Mary didn't show up at the church meeting. She was backstage earning a backstage pass with the road crew from a band called Toto, not Toto, but Toto. And so she ends up going on the road with the road crew. And so the track is called Crucelet that leads into that. And it's really just it's a really good blues song. Frank doing the singing. Danny Wally has a nice slide solo and there's some harmonica. And it's basically about Mary doing all these things with the road crew. And
she's busy.
Just a life turns into from a good Catholic girl to a life of debauchery. So that's the end of side one.
Yeah.
So
I think it's starting out strong.
It's kind of weird. There's a song to talk, not a song to play now. Getting used to that. And
I know I was front loaded. This show was front loaded.
It makes my life so much easier when I don't have to really describe it as much.
I know. Well, I think it's good when you're playing this stuff to play some samples. Yeah, we kind of shot the wad, but that's really okay. Is.
But at least people who don't know this now can kind of understand what we're going to be talking about.
Right.
But so let's go to side two of the first disc, which is still part of Act One. And it's called the song, the original vinyl, the song was called Wet T-Shirt Night. On the CDs, it's called Fembot and the Wet T-Shirt. This is like 5.5 minutes, and it's about so Mary gets dumped by the road crew in Miami. They kicked her off the bus, and she's got no money, so she joins a wet T-shirt contest to raise money so she can get back home. The MC of the wet T-shirt contest happens to be Father Riley, who had been kicked out of the church, probably because he was a fairy. But she doesn't really recognize him, and she ends up winning the wet T-shirt contest. The song itself has got kind of a real upbeat 70s feel to it, I think. And that's the time this was made anyway, so it really fits the time. There's some weird sections in it, though, that are very classically based, which later turn up on one of his classical albums in a song called Mo and Herb's Vacation. And those things are total opposites with the rest of the song. And in the song, toward the end of it, they kind of reenact the whole wet T-shirt contest with them pouring the cold water on Mary and whatever. So,
But it does feature Dale in there, though.
Yeah, she's like, ooh, when they pour the hot cold water on her. And yeah, she's talking to I think it's Butch. I think Father Riley's Butch at this point. And so yeah, they reenact the whole scene of the wet t-shirt contest, which then leads to the next track called On the Bus. On the CD, I think on the vinyl it was called Toad O Line. Yeah, it's On the Bus on the CD though. This is just a guitar solo. So we haven't talked about this yet because this is the first real guitar solo on here. So we've talked about Xenochrony on other albums like Zoodalures and Chic Your Booty had a few of them. So this is a case where they took a guitar solo from Inca Roads from March 21st, 79, and they extract just the guitar and they record a whole new rhythm section underneath of it. And it's two completely different things, but they just gel together. And he's going to do that on this album, I think 4 or 5 times. So it's this guitar solo, and then it kind of segues back into the music from the Wet T-shirt song.
I should have picked this track to play.
Well, it's a really good solo.
Well, I think it's very raw. I think this is probably a fan favorite, but his interplay with Willis, the vocals, phenomenal. I love it. And it's kind of nice because look, like you said, we really haven't had a guitar solo yet. So this kind of throws in yet another,
variety,
a different variety, a different flavor to the album, so to speak.
Acts 2 and 3 have way more guitar solos in them. So we'll be discussing that stuff quite a bit more as we get there. So at the end of the song, the Central Scrutinizer comes back in, and then he's talking about how Joe finds out about what Mary's been up to and her exploits, and he's kind of despondent about that. But then he hooks up with a chick from the Jack in the Box named Lucille. She gives him an STD, which leads into the next track, one of Logan's favorites, I'm sure.
Of course.
And it's called Why Does It Hurt When I Pee?
Classic.
This is a short one, only 2.5 minutes. It's a heavy rocker, though. It's got this heavy power chord riff, but it's got this real dramatic classical type interlude in it. Joe sings this, of course, because it's about Joe. Why does it hurt when he pees? Because he got this disease. Some of the lyrics are like, I got it from the toilet seat. It jumped right up and grabbed my meat. Why does it hurt when I pee? And like Grant always says, wrap it up.
Wrap the rascal.
Wrap the rascal.
That's what I always, one thing I can always, wrap up a show with, because it's, I'm trying to help the society.
So let's a couple more things here before we end Act 1. So let's get this wrapped up, and then we can kind of take a little bit of a short break and then talk about Acts 2 and 3.
Okay.
So yeah,
Lucille has messed up my mind.
This song is 5:43. Okay.
Reggae, mellow.
Yes, slow reggae. This was from the Jeff Simmons album called Lucille Has Messed My Mind Up, which he and Frank co-wrote. That was, I think, 1970 that came out. Jeff was in the Mothers for a while. It's basically a song about Joe lamenting Lucille. He loves her, but she gave him a STD, so his mind's all messed up. I can grant it's kind of a slow reggae track. And then
the guitar work on it's very subtle, I think.
Yeah, it is.
It's almost got like this might not make kind of a floating. It's kind of like you're floating.
Yes, it's very restrained and very relaxing. The Act 1 ends with, it's called the Scrutinizer Postlude. I don't even think it was a track on the vinyl, but it's a minute and a half. And basically the Scrutinizer, he's wrapping up what's happened on Act 1 and all of Joe's struggles. He's setting us up for the next act. And he gives us a little teaser where he tells us Joe gives some money to L. Ron Hoover at the First Church of Appliantology. Okay, so everybody probably knows then that's based on L. Ron Hubbard and the Church of Scientology. So he's going to be making fun of that. So that ends Act 1. So
I'm glad. It's good to know that Jeff has Q-tips. He doesn't have any problem. Did I ever tell you the story though? I got time for a story.
Yep,
I know it's gonna. My dad was in World War II.
Wow.
Okay, and he would mention, he would tell me things about it. But a lot of the Navy boys would go in on, they'd have leave and they'd go into town, and well, they would come back with diseases. And he said this is what they used to do, like when they were in the infirmary or whatever. They would take a rod, and because things would close up, they would take this rod and go, and he said men would just, blood-curdling screams would come out, and you could hear them. He said you always knew what it was because, well, they're syphilis, gonorrhea, whichever one plugs you up. I've never had that, but it was pretty normal in the Navy in World War II. Just thought I'd share that with you kids.
Well, I have been to the urologist, and I've had something similar done, but not because I had anything wrong with me.
It's a true story, Logan. It's true. Well, this whole album's about VD, damn near. Fits right
Logan,
in.
someday when you get your pubes, you'll know what we're talking about.
100%, Logan. When you grow up, when Connie's not tucking you in at night, you may know when you grow up to be a man. With the Beach Boys. We're still calling them Mutt and Jeff. Oh, no, we're calling them Beavis and Butthead. Yeah. Anyway, keep going. Act 2, right. A token of my extreme.
You're right.
Reggae, kind of a relaxed ballad, I would say. Yeah. Poking fun at cult religions. What's your thoughts on this, Mr. B.M. Boldt?
This song actually dates back to like 1974. Like I said, it's relaxed. It was an instrumental back then, and they used it to introduce that was the first thing they'd play on the tours back in '74. Frank would come out, they'd start playing it, and he would introduce the band to this track. But Frank added some words to it to make it fit this album. So basically, in this song, Frank has now assumed the role of L. Ron Hoover.
You just have to laugh.
And Ike is still Joe, of course. So basically, they're having this conversation where they're singing back and forth with each other. And L. Ron is telling Joe that he needs to forget about women because they're just trouble. And he needs to accept the fact that he is a latent appliance fetishist. Everybody knows what that means, right? So,
sure.
Latent appliance fetishist is a person who refuses to admit to him or his or herself that sexual gratification can only be achieved by the use of machines. That comes straight from the lyrics.
DC, despite his reputation of being we know he was very busy during his Carpenter days and listening to those various artists. He has remained clean, ladies and gentlemen.
At his age, I'm sure he's seen the urologist, though.
Yeah. You seen the urologist lately, DC?
So, Elron also tells him he'd be better off if he learned to speak German because the best appliances come from Germany. And so he tells him, learn German, dress up as a housewife, and go to this club called The Closet. And you can go there and pick up an appliance to have sex with. So
it's so wrong.
That's what the gist of the song is about. I haven't really described the song that much. I mean, you did a little bit.
Right.
It's a nice song. I mean, I think I'm spending more time telling the story than I'm talking about the songs. Ever since his brain injury, probably.
Yeah. 100%. Could be.
Okay, so here we go. That leads into the song Stick It Out, which is 4.5 minutes. So
very, very lewd.
Joe's learned to speak German, and he goes to the closet, the bar. And this is the song about that. So this song, part of it originates from the 1971 with the Flo and Eddie era, where they had a whole suite of music called the Sofa Suite. And some of this music comes from there. So this is a really upbeat, catchy song with some really questionable lyrics.
Well, it's very. I will say the melody's very catchy.
Yeah, it's a catchy song, man.
I mean, do you find it? Well, it's pretty crass.
Yeah,
I will say
the funny
that.
part is so Joe's there at this club and he approaches. Let me get in. Joe goes to the closet. He picks out Cyborg, who is a cross between an industrial vacuum cleaner and a chrome-plated piggy bank with marmalade stuck all over it. So Joe starts singing in German to Cyborg to try and pick him up. Him, her, it's a robot. It's yeah, I don't. So he sings a few verses in German, and then Cyborg's like kind of into it. He's like, this guy speaks German, and he's whatever. And then Joe decides, screw it, I'm gonna start singing in English now. So he sings all the previous verses in English. So you get to hear what he's really been singing, unless you know German, so you already knew what he was singing. But yeah, it's pretty crass, like you said.
It's crass, but I think it's a good. I love this whole record. What am I gonna say? Jesus.
So Cyborg, who speaks like a robot, kind of like the Cylons or whatever from Battlestar Galactica, he starts quoting lines from Dancing Fool. You remember those lines of Dancing Fool?
Mm-hmm.
Are you Jewish? I love your nails. You're a Libra. Your place or mine. All that. I think my favorite lyric in the song is the "Don't get no jizz upon that sofa."
Jesus.
Stick it out,
Lord.
So those are some of the clean lines that don't get no jizz on that sofa.
It's kind of polarizing. I mean, it's very bizarre track, I'd say. I dig the reggae tinged influences here. Do you dig the reggae aspect of it?
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
There's quite a bit of reggae going on in this album.
Well, I think the musician, I mean, all these guys on this record are excellent players. And the fact that I think the musicianship on this track is really out of this world. The whole record, though, but this, I think it really stands out.
The musicianship really stands out when they do those xenochrony things. Because I don't know. Because they're playing the weirdest shit behind those guitar solos sometimes. And I don't know if Frank tells them what to play so it'll all work. I don't know how you all to sync up.
I think it's all written out. I think it's all written out.
We're going to get to some more of that here coming up because there's going to be a lot more soloing. So let's go on to the next track, Cyborg. So this is a slow reggae ballad.
Shit, I already thought you were talking about Cyborg. That's what I was talking about.
Well, yeah, it's okay. Well, we were talking about Stick It Out, but yes. So that leads into Cyborg, which is the reggae ballad.
Reggae, reggae and Cyborg. I was
going along with you on the reggae thing prior to that because I knew it was coming up.
Trying to keep things moving, Byron.
So, yeah, this is just a real slow reggae ballad with a lot of singing and some talking where Joe goes to Cy's apartment and then they meet Cy's roommate, Gay Bob, who's a miniature rubberized homo replica. I'm not sure what that is. And they have a threesome and Gay Bob, this is Gay Bob, give me that blow job, whatever.
You're just disgusting, Byron.
No, West Coast Dave. I didn't get to see Frank. I was kind of young for him. I was going to go though to see the final tour. He was coming, and then that tour got canceled early on, and he never toured again. So I was going to go to that.
Well, I remember him coming when I was a kid to Central Ohio. I never went though.
No,
they always promoted it on the FM rock radio all the time. He would play like Vets Memorial, if anybody knows Vets in Columbus. So it was a good sized venue. But yeah, he would tour around here. And it was always a big deal. For the people like at high school or whatever that were into Zappa, it was a big event. They could hardly wait to go see Zappa.
Yeah, I didn't get into him until college, so it was 84-ish maybe, but he never came here after I think 82. Like, he was going to come in 88, but it got canceled. So
yeah. All right. Another tangent. There you go.
So yeah, we're
Cyborg. This is the reggae track that I was talking about.
So the Joe and the two appliances, I guess, they kind of start having sex, and Joe shorts out Cyborg circuits from the golden shower. That's what it says in the song. Well, because he was pluking him too hard.
Yeah, pluking always is hard on somebody.
So I had never heard the word pluke until this album. It's what you'd probably think it is. So, and the police show up.
Logan says Joe getting it on.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So the police show up because the sirens started going off because Cyborg's short-circuited or something. And then Joe goes to jail because he doesn't have any money to pay to get Cyborg repaired because he gave all his money to L. Ron Hoover. So that's the end of disc 1, but we're halfway through act 2 at this point. So
yes.
We're only halfway there, but there's a lot less songs on the second disc. So.
I guess I don't have the 2012 or I'm assuming yours is the same. I think this was a clone. Was the 2012? Was the 20? I've never seen it. Was the 2012 on this a 2 CD set?
Yeah.
And they cut it the same way. I mean, right in the middle of.
I assume it's a 2 CD. I mean,
does anybody have the 2012 CD of this?
Maybe a 3, but I seriously doubt it's a 3 disc set. So,
well, you never know. I don't know. I don't have all of it.
It'd be cool, like one of those Japanese ones where they would give you 3 discs in the little cardboard, like the original vinyl. That'd be kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this is nice, DC. This album would be a nice Christmas gift for my Nana. Oh, you are so thoughtful.
And there's a song later on that I think DC, I don't know if he's heard this or not because he said he's not a big Zappa fan, but there's a song later on I think he'll definitely like. We'll get to that and discuss it.
Right.
Sorry, so let's start with disc 2, where this would be side 4. Of the
Dong work for Yoda.
Work for Yoda.
We're Yoda. Yoda. That's an easy mistake.
Yeah,
well, you see that, you immediately want to say Yoda. That's because I was growing up during that era. So that's kind of comedic. You know, we're talking prison humor. The lyrics are, shall we say, explicit. I'm trying to keep it G-rated.
Yeah.
But it's kind of juvenile, and you know how I am with Frank and juvenile.
Yes.
Some of it works, some of it doesn't. What's your thoughts on this?
I like it. It's a fast track.
Yeah, it's fine, but I think it's one of the weaker tracks on the record.
The next track is the fast one, but this one's kind of a funky blues track is what it really is. And it's about Joe, how he's in prison. And basically most of the people in this prison are from the music business. There's a whole lot of pluking going on.
Joe, a lot of messes to clean up.
Joe meets bald-headed John, who is Terry Bozzio, and he's the king of the plukers. So that's basically what that song is about. It's not bad, but it's more of a funky blues tune. Yeah. That leads right into Keep It Greasy, which is really
blazing. Good guitar on this track. Killer.
Yeah, it's fast, it's complex, and it's just out there, and I don't know how to describe it.
What about Vinny's drumming? What do you think of that?
Yeah, because this song does it even have kind of a beat?
It's like jazz. It's like jazz, rock, and funk all mixed up in a bowl.
So lyrically, this song is about Joe getting pluked. Because that's what they say.
This whole album's about pluking.
Yeah. But once again, lyrically, it's very crude. Okay. I got some notes about the song basically though. The verses are in 1916, not the year 19/16.
I'm not even sure I could even count that.
One other.
No, don't do it. Don't make us suffer. We don't want to suffer.
So yeah, can you imagine trying to keep up with that?
No.
So that's the verses. So then it has a long Xenochrony guitar solo, which is City of Tiny Lights, from a City of Tiny Lights solo from 79. The solo is in 11/8.
Yeah.
But like I said, the rhythm is in 19/16. And it works. I don't know how, but it takes a while to get used to hearing this kind of thing where the timing is just so bizarre. You got 11/8 and 19/16, and you're putting those together. I mean,
we should have played that. I should have played that track. I wasn't.
It's hard enough to listen to one of those on its own, probably, with both of them at the same time. But it works, and it sounds really good. Yeah. So, yeah.
I'm having a rough day. 38-24. All right. Keep it greasy. I think it's one of the highlights. 100%. Act 3, Packard Goose. Long track, 11:31.
You just skipped like 2 songs.
What did I do?
I don't know. You skipped 2 songs. Next song is Outside Now.
Oh, no. Oh, I did. My screen changed, and I thought
good. That's why I'm here. So
Outside Now, very well. The guitar solo transcribed by Steve Vai. What you think?
Yeah,
it's kind of slower, sentimental.
Yeah. So this one is another example of the Xenochrony, but this one is relaxed compared to the previous one we heard. These solos are all. I think this is actually 2 different solos combined, but I guess they were both from different performances of City of Tiny Lights. Lyrically, the song is about Joe, how after being plooped by all these record executives, he's withdrawn, and he basically spends his time just imagining guitar solos in his head, because he wants to hear music, but he can't do anything other than imagine it in his head. So he imagines these guitar solos that the kind that irritate the record company executives. So that's important to the story. But so yeah, so there's some singing in this where Joe's singing about he can't wait till he gets on the outside of the prison someday and see what the world's like. But like I said, he's still in jail. That ends Act 2. So let me get another drink here.
Yeah, how did I do that? I scrolled, scrolling. I'm a scrolling maniac. Missing shows tonight.
You're slipping, man.
I'm slipping. I'm trying to get things more complex, and I'm slipping. Anyway, go ahead.
All right.
Act 3.
Now we're up to Act 3. We're getting there, people. Not that many songs left, though. So
I know. We're getting there. We'll be there. Well, we're at 53 minutes. Can we do it in 8 minutes?
Hopefully.
Okay, go. Keep going.
So the next track is called You Used to Cut the Grass. It's 8.5 minutes. It's about Joe. He finally gets out of jail, and now music is illegal. And he just kind of walks around wandering, imagining guitar solos in his head still. This is a real mellow Xenochrony solo from a song called Persona Non Grata, which I think that might be on a bootleg. I was looking for that on my hard drive. I don't know if he ever officially released Persona Non Grata. It was from May 23rd, 79. So yeah, it's just another guitar solo.
But it's I think the track, it's heavy. I think it's great. I think the thing about this, it kind of shows off Zappa's improvisation. If anybody knows the way Zappa plays guitar, he's flying by the seat of his pants.
Yeah.
And the improvisational aspect of his playing on here, I think, is absolutely top notch.
I think this is a solo where he's playing a lot of notes on his low E string, way down low, and he's kind of picking it real fast and just slowly bending the string. I think there's a lot of that going on this one. It's got kind of a dark feel to it.
I love it. I like it. So, I mean, 8 minutes and 35 seconds. I'm in. I do. I love it.
So the next track on this side, there's only 2 tracks on this side. The next one is Packard Goose, which is 11:38. Okay, I really like this track.
I should have played
this. It's long. I really like it. So it's about Joe's decided he's going to start adding lyrics to his imaginary guitar solos. And the lyrics are about Joe's low opinion of music critics. Like one of the lyrics is, blank all them writers with the pen in their hand. I will be more specific so they might understand. They can all kiss my ass because it's so grand, blah, blah, blah. There's a lot of different parts to this song, and they're very different. The sections are very different from each other. It's funky at times. It can be very accessible and melodic at times. And there's a lot of starting and stopping tempo changes too.
I think we could use the word here, Byron, prog, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes. Yes.
This is very prog. Where's Rand? You know his antennas are going off.
So
wait a minute. Let me try this. Hey, you know the band Yes?
Yes.
Wait a minute. Give him a second. He should be in the chat at any moment. Anyway, go ahead.
So then it leads, there's this really nice, soft interlude where Mary comes in and she's starting to speak about life, and I can't remember some of the things, but one of the things she says is music is the best. And actually Frank would quote that on like t-shirts and stuff of his that he would sell, because some of those lines that she quotes it's a really nice part, song. There's a real long guitar solo in here from a couple solos that are xenochrony, of course, in the middle of the track. And then the song ends kind of up. It has a real upbeat feel at the end, because I think it's because Joe's like, I told those music critics off, and he feels better about himself.
Hold on, Kyle. Let me give it a shot. John Anderson. Let's see if Rand gets it. Go ahead, Byron.
He'll be here any minute.
So
that ends actually the side 5. So like I said, Joe is now, writing songs about how he hates the music critics. So, so we're on the last side of the album now. So there's only 2 tracks on side 6, I guess we'll call it. The first one's Watermelon.
That's fair enough.
Watermelon and Easter Hay, 9 minutes and 9 seconds. Okay, DC, this one you need to hear if you haven't heard it.
Well, a lot of people think that this is the album's pinnacle.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got one of the best Zappa guitar solos. We always talk about damn Zappa and his guitar solos, but it's true. Very melodic, wonderful. Because Black Napkins, we brought that up.
Yeah,
I could listen.
Black Napkins are the two pinnacles.
I could listen to that over and over again, and this one is another one of those solos that has very melodic, very emotional. You could almost think Santana. Could you say Santana?
Yeah, but Carlos would have probably gone crazy in the middle of the solo.
Well,
Frank holds back on this pretty much throughout. But yeah, it's considered one of his best solos, if not the best. It's slow, it's haunting, and it's just this really simple melody over a really simple arpeggio. You just repeat this arpeggio throughout. It's real slow, and he just plays this little melody over it, and then
it's great. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, he's improvising over it, but he doesn't really go crazy with it at all. So it's just wonderful. And basically, it starts out with the scrutinizer saying, "Well, Joe realizes, he's wasting his time with his imaginary music. So he says, I'm going to do one last guitar solo in my imagination, and it's this." So that leads to the last song on the album, which is called A Little Green Rosetta. It's 8 minutes and 15 seconds. So let me explain it. So Joe's now moved on. He's given up his imaginary music and stuff. And he gets a job at the Utility Muffin Research Kitchen. If you don't know, that was what Frank names his home recording studio as well. And Joe works there making muffins. So,
of course.
Now, if you go back to the Bongo Fury album with Captain Beefheart, song Muffin Man, they mentioned the Utility Muffin Research Kitchen there as well. So Frank has this thing with muffins, I guess, and vacuum cleaners.
Well, who doesn't?
We had vacuum cleaners earlier in the album, and he's mentioned those in the past as well. So the central scrutinizer sings this, but he takes off his megaphone that he's using and sings it in his normal voice. It's Frank.
Right.
So it's kind of a silly song. We heard a much simpler version of this track on Lather. It almost sounds like a demo compared to this. Like I said, this is kind of silly, and it seems like it's just a bunch of people in the studio, and they're having a good time.
It's like kind of like having a party.
Yeah.
Ad-lib vocals.
Yeah, and it kind of reminds me a little bit of like parts of side 4 of Something Anything, where Todd had all the people in the studio, and there's a lot of
side 4 is Something Anything's perfect.
So it's kind of like that. And there's all these people in the studio, and there's people talking and stuff, and they're just having fun playing the music. And it's kind of
I like it though. Big send off to the album.
Yeah.
What do you think? It's a good way to end this record, Byron? I kind of listen to it and go.
Well, in some ways, I think it's kind of anticlimactic.
I find that.
But I kind of like it, and that they're just, the album's really not serious, and I think they're just saying, yeah, we did this, and now let's just have a little fun, but they're like you said, they're kind of ad-lib and stuff, and then he's like, does he say something about Steve Gadd on drums or something, and the drummer's kind of going all crazy, and like he's ignoring the click track. They're just kind of goofing around and having fun. So yeah, but he didn't end it somehow, and I don't know. I think he just threw this on because, like I said, he just kind of, the story was made up after he had most of these songs. I'm sure he had to do some work to kind of get it all tied together. But yeah, it's fine.
I think it's all right. Let me yell out Mr. Tony K real quick. Tony K, because we haven't gotten Rand here yet. Maybe if I yell Tony K, he'll come. We're not here yet. I don't know what it is. All right, cool. Byron, okay.
A lot of talking.
A lot of talking. I don't want to talk anymore. We're done. I do want to get everybody's score out of 10 who has heard this record and wants to contribute. As you know, we are a collective unit here in the Warehouse, and we're just trying to turn people on to Frank Zappa and this record. Is this a record that we can put down on the record? Is this a record that we want to turn people on to? Logan Collins. Damn it, look at that, a 9.5. All right. And now I'm going to wait. Hold on. Let me get these scores, and then I'm going to ask Byron for his. Jay, if you want to, can you read those as they keep coming through?
Me?
Yeah. Come on, work.
So you got Logan, you got Jay.
Jay, what's Jay's? Just keep going. 10. Announce it and tell it to me.
Jeff Dennis, a 9.
Okay, ready? Keep going.
Memphis Lonnie, 12 out of 10, so that's a 10.
Well, we'll go 10. All right, keep going.
Damien, 9.5.
Okay.
David Olkers, 10.
All right.
Webb, 9.5.
Jesus, we've never had anything score this high. I can already tell.
Stephen David, 9.75.
9.75. All right.
Ken White, 9.25.
9.25. Wow. Okay.
That's everybody so far.
That's it. Anybody else have it before we go? Byron, what would you give this out of 10? Oh, we got a D-Rockers coming in with a 9. Go ahead.
I don't think it's a perfect album, but I think I'm still giving it a 10. Does that make sense?
You can give it. What do you want? Give it.
I think I'm going to go 10. I mean,
All right, 10. Is this as good as We're Only in It for the Money? For modern, I'm going to call this modern. I'm going to call it post-Mother Zappa. This is one of the greatest records that I have heard in post-Mother's Zappa. I think that the band is running on. I'm going to give it a 10. Wow. It's almost like I need to break this shit up into different categories or different eras. It's so hard. But okay, if I'm looking at this out of all the things, because I haven't heard all these records, I'm going to give this for post Mother's Zappa. I'm giving this a 10, 100%. Is it perfect? It's pretty damn perfect.
Yeah, I think he probably could have made it a little more concise.
Webb just wants me to get worked up.
Act 3 is really stretched out. It could have been a little more concise, but I'm not going to take away because of that,
Well, would you say, I'm talking to everybody in the chat, would you say that this is probably the highlight of, well, Hot Rats is damn good, but that's 69. Of the 70s stuff, is this is, okay, we got another one. Ken's coming in with a 9.0.
Yep.
9.073. Okay. I think this is the best of the 70s. Damn it. I'm all worked up. Giddy like a schoolgirl. The best of the 70s.
Some of that stuff with George Duke and those guys is like one size fits all.
Zoot or Lures, I liked an awful lot too.
Yeah, I don't remember if I gave all those a 10. I don't know how many 10s I've given out.
All right, here we go.
Beer
Beer and Vinyl. I'd give it a 10. Okay, here we go. Beer and Vinyl, another Ohioan, ladies and gentlemen. Please say hello to Beer and Vinyl. Yes, sir. I'll give it a 10. Love it all. Perfect combo of hilarity and complexity. 100%. There we go. Another 10. We're looking pretty good. I don't think we've ever reviewed a record in the whole history of the Warehouse that's going to come by this strong. All right, we got a 9. I did look at the Beatles, but it would be 10 all the way across, so I don't, kind of dumb to do that. Grand Wazoo's also great. That's right.
This is my third 10 I've given out for Zappa.
73 to 79, Golden Peak years. Go ahead.
So we're only in it for the money. One size fits all in this.
9.5 Webb, one size fits all. Because, Byron and I have been doing this show for damn near 3 years. So all the shows are down below. Go check them out if you haven't. We're just trying to document. Grand Wazoo, West Coast Dave, he loves it. Wait a minute. Whoa. Wait, what is this? Logan said Sydney gave it a 6. This or Grand Wazoo? What is happening? Well, Sydney, we know his taste.
He's not here, so it doesn't count.
Yeah, but you know his taste, though.
He's all
not
over
to talk
the place.
out of school, but the kids. He's not a kid,
man.
That adult is very contrarian. He should be on the contrarians, not me.
He definitely is.
Roxy also a 10. Chic and one size, 100%. One size fits all. All right. Look, everybody. Ernesto's here late as usual. Anyway.
Ernesto has this on 8-track, I bet.
And he has it on 8-track. It's probably a double 8-track. Anyway, we've done it. Let's tally it up. I gave it a 10. You gave it a 10. Everybody else practically gave it a 10. And we come up, ladies and gentlemen, you're not going to be surprised. We come up with a 9.6.
Wow.
I don't think we've ever had anything rate that high.
Wow.
In fact, I know that. In all these shows, all these one and dones that we do, this is the highest rating album we've ever done. And well-deserved. And well-deserved it for the Frank Zappa catalog.
I'm going to go back and watch the One Size Fits All and Roxy shows and see what those average. I don't know that we were doing this as
Look,
much.
Digon's here too. He's late. Well, they might have been watching. I mean, a lot of these guys are eating dinner and stuff. Waxing their cars and waxing their boards. I don't know. Do you have anything to add? We need to get out of here because we're already at it.
I think we're going to be doing Tinseltown Rebellion next. That's a double, so we'll just do that by itself.
Okay.
Shut up and play your guitar. We'll do all 3 in one shot.
All right. But we'll do Tinseltown next.
Yep.
All right. Well, I will send you a date. What else is happening this week? I know the Wax is going to be on tomorrow. We will be live. talking about no skipped albums. I think that's at 8. I can't remember, but Saturday,
G-Force, right? Monday is G-Force, I think.
Monday is G-Force. Saturday, don't forget, tune in live. We will be streaming on Sea of Tranquility, streaming on my channel, streaming on Brendan Snyder's channel, maybe on Phil Ashton's channel. We're going to do another rock candy show on what we like and our favorite rock candies. And basically, it's just a show with 4 guys just coming on and just shooting the shit about records, CDs. So make sure you tune in on Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Everybody's going, 10 a.m.? Man, what the hell? We got a lot of people last time watching, and it was early in the morning, which I think people are ready for, Pete's always doing shows coming on at 10, so everybody's used to it. So, yeah, we're going to try to do a 4-way stream, Kyle. Brace yourselves.
I don't think Rock Candy's ever going to open up again if you guys do another show.
I haven't checked them today. Have they opened up yet?
No. I've never bought anything there, so I don't know.
Well, I know, but I haven't checked. Let me look.
If it's not used, I'm not buying it.
But I think we did have something to do with shutting them down.
I think so, yeah.
Maybe. Let me look. Let me go. Well, I just went in and it opened up. Oh, nope. CD store. Site temporarily suspended. They were supposed to get it done on Monday. What is this, Wednesday? Jesus. Must be bad. Anyway, so it's going to be a mess because we're going to even promote it even more and no one can buy anything. I hope they get it done. Grant, thoughts on the latest tall box? I do not have that. G-Force will be fun, 100%.
I got a lot of notes, man.
Logan's stream, my stream is one way. Well, you won't. Well, we're not going to mention anything else other than that. I don't skip any tracks on any album. Ken White, hardcore Ken White is.
I agree.
You guys emptied the rock candy vaults. I'm kind of concerned. I hope that they have the site back up by the time Saturday comes around, but I don't know. Byron only buys CDs. He does. Not even $1.
I got a bunch for 50 cents the other day.
I got my Riot Natara from 100% West Coast Davis because you're a damn professional and a fancy dresser. Send them an email. Well, I could, but I don't want to bug them. They know we're doing the show. And they already promoted it up on the Rock Candy magazine site, so they know the show's coming. Logan want to that Kyle? I'm not going to even respond to that.
Their streams are probably pretty weak.
I don't know. I can say at my age, though, my stream is top notch. Everything's running.
Your urologist stuck the tube in to clean you out.
That was everything runs as the way it should. All right, everybody. Well, I appreciate everybody coming. I want to thank BM Boldt for keeping it real. It was a loose show, but man, we played some tunes. We talked about Joe's Garage, and ladies and gentlemen, we gave it a 9.6. So anyway, we will be back in the warehouse. Please like, subscribe if you haven't. And like I said, keep it clean. And if you need to take that metal rod, please wrap it. You don't want it, the metal rod. All right, we'll see everybody.